will now move straight to another interesting topic, which is, of course, making rounds in the last 2 weeks after this revelation had been made. And that has to do with USAID allegedly funding Boko Haram. And, of course, we now have Victor High, a public affairs analyst, join us via Zoom for more on this. Mr. Victor, thank you very much for joining us this morning on this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
So much, Mr. Victor. This revelation came, has been in the news for the past 2 weeks. And of course, there's been so many talks about, is this true? Is it not true? But first, let me first get your own reaction to that. When you heard about this revelation that, USAID might allegedly be funding Boko Haram.
Okay, so the beauty of that commission is that in America, the Freedom of Information Bill works. The Freedom of Information, whether it be Act rather, works, or Freedom of Information. And so people can have access. They can demand for access to, I would say most. I mean, there may be some, thoroughly classified until they are declassified. And so, when we got that revelation, it was based on information that someone, had access to. And it is not, for me, it wasn't shocking or surprising because when you look at America's foreign policy, usually it's always in their, call it enlightened selfish interest. Whatever is in their best interest, that's what they would do. And as I've often said, if a dictator is beholden to American interests, they're a Democrat. But if a Democrat is, what he does is not in American interest, then he's labeled as, either as a dictator or as an enemy of the American state. So that is quite clear. Now, so when that information came out, I wasn't shocked. You say USAID is America's soft power tool. You recall that in the year 2009, I think during, what's his name? Yaradua, the late Yaradua, bless his soul, his time, the Americans wanted to have a military base here in Nigeria. And he, in our best national interest, said no. And of course, that was, if you like, fatalistic, because in the end, not long after that, we saw a barrage. You can call it a coincidence or whatever, but we saw a barrage of attacks by terrorists. And you want to ask yourself how these people were trained. Their level of organization was astounding. They had the wing. They could take videos, they could upload them, they had military training, and you want to ask yourself how all of this happened. Is it an accident? And you know that the military cannot penetrate areas like that. When I say military now, other militaries. You will recall, let me just say this, and I think old enough to know this, it's just recent history, that, when we sought for